everyone, it's me, Jack Wallen, and I am here today to talk to you about the art of being an artist. I know, it's kind of a tricky subject to talk about for a number of reasons. Number one, people just don't like to talk about it, especially about what it is that I want to talk about. And the other reason is because it's just kind of hard to intimate some of these ideas in ways that don't come off as, I don't know, first world problemish, because really that's what they are, or whiny, or I don't know. It's just challenging. Let me start this off by saying being an artist is not the easiest path to take. There are so many hurdles to overcome. One of those hurdles is just dealing with life. Here's the thing. I'm going to try to explain this to you by way of an analogy. Back when I was a full-time actor, when that's all I did, and I did that for about 20 years, my life pretty much consisted of this. I would search for a gig, I would get a gig, and then the second I got that gig, the search would start all over. So even while I was working in that new gig, I was busy trying to find my next gig. Because that's the way it is. Because being an artist is kind of like having to take on multiple part-time jobs, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And you never know when the part-time job that you have at that moment is going to end. Now, in certain circumstances, of course, you do know, such as with acting contracts. You know that you've got, 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever. You have an end date. So it's especially important when you have those end dates that you start looking for a job right away. So your life is primarily, as an actor, looking for work. Now, how does that translate as a writer? Well, believe it or not, there is a parallel. Right now, I'm working on, what am I working on? I'm working on The Ghosts of Brookhaven and A Midsummer Night's Reap. Those two, one of them is in final edits, and one of them is coming back from beta readers. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm also having to plan on what my next book is. Well, in this case, I already know what my next book is because I already started it before I started the process of editing and beta reading those two other books. So I'm going to go back to Fear 4. Now, at the same time I'm working on these three things, I'm also having to market 40 plus other books. Now, this is where it gets really problematic. The truth of the matter is that marketing books is a full-time job. Marketing books successfully is a full-time job. I know. You could put that two and two together. Especially when you have 40 plus books. It's more than a full-time job. Now, here's my problem. If I'm given X amount of hours during the day with which to either work on a new book or get a book that's in editing or beta reading ready to be published and market my other books, I'm going to want to dedicate the majority of that time to the craft, to writing, because that helps me improve. Not only does it help me to release new books, it helps me to improve what I do. And that's one of the things that I'm always in search of, is ways to get better. That doesn't leave a whole lot of time left for marketing. So what happens is that when I'm not writing, I'm either thinking about what I'm writing, thinking about what I've written, or thinking about what I'm going to write. And I'm also thinking about how I can come up with new and clever ways to market my work. And I'm having to actually work on the marketing ideas that are already in place that other people are using, such as Facebook ads and Amazon ads, and finding other routes like BookBub and BookDoggy and all those other things. It is overwhelming. Now, here's the other problem. I have a life. I have a family. I have cats. I have fish that I have to care for. I have other things that I have to write. So the problem becomes a matter of time. And I've experienced this as both an actor and a writer. As an actor, I could get absolutely consumed with what I was doing at the time, such that I was going to rehearsal, and then when I would come home from rehearsal, I was still in rehearsal mode, and I was working on what I worked on in rehearsal, and also working on what I was going to have to do the next day, on top of which, memorizing everything, on top of which, trying to find more work. And that all translated to my life now as a writer. I'm constantly trying to find more work, adding more to my plate. So I have this plate in front of me, this pie, whoop, this pie chart. And the majority of that pie chart is taken up with my creative endeavors. I have to carve out some time for my wife and my cats. Oh, and sleeping and eating and self-care. So here's the way it tends to go in my case. The first thing that I neglect is marketing. And that is to my detriment. Because without marketing in today's market, books don't sell. Because there are so many writers and so few readers, especially with genre fiction, that you have to work your ass off to market your books. I know people, and this is no lie, I know people that spend hours a day. And I'm not kidding, 6 figures on marketing. Now, of that 6 figures, they're getting back about 40 to 50% return. So let's just say they're spending $100,000 in marketing. They're only getting about, 40 to 50% back in returns for that marketing. That's not a return on investment that intrigues me. On top of which, the time they have to invest in marketing is time that is taken away from actual writing. And I would rather write. And I know I've got to market, and I've got to get into a groove of this. I've got to find a way to give as much time to marketing as I can. I'm never going to give as much time to marketing as I do actually writing, because I love writing. Writing is my whoopee. Marketing is my Achilles. But even so, I've got to find some sort of happy medium there. And it is a challenge, because I can't allow that marketing time to cut in to me time, which includes my family. You see what I'm trying to say? That being an artist is hard on so many levels. And one of those levels is there's just not enough time in the day to get everything done that you need to get done. And which are you going to spend the most time on? Improving your writing or improving your marketing? You've got to find that happy medium. I haven't found it yet. I'm spending a vast amount of time on improving my craft of writing, and not much time improving my marketing. And it is a challenge. So much so, my hair won't even stand up today. I got to get a haircut. Oh my! It is a never-ending battle. It was a never-ending battle as an actor. It's a never-ending battle as a writer. As an artist, period. Know that your life is going to constantly be challenging. And you're never going to have enough time to do everything you need to do. So you've got to find ways to be as efficient as you can. And don't look at ways that, at marketing ideas that have worked for other people, because they might not work for you. Be yourself. Be as creative as you can. Find ways to be efficient in your creativity. And don't forget to take care of yourself and your loved ones. Because if you neglect yourself and them, life's going to get really hard. Anyway, that's all I got today. Well, I hope this didn't frustrate you. It's just a reality that we have to deal with as artists. But it gets better. As time goes on, you find more and better ways to improve everything you do. Just be on the lookout for the things that work for you. And the closer eye you keep on that, the more you're going to be able to pick and choose what works and toss off what doesn't work. Okay? Anyway, everybody, I hope you have an outstanding day. I hope that I have maybe helped you in some way or shape or form, or entertained you. I don't know. Today's wasn't a very happy little conversation. But anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting artists of all kind. We could not do this without you, because you, my friends, you are awesome.